The legacy probably is that if you have a goal in mind and you're willing to work hard and you're willing to be very ethical and very honest, I think that there is a good chance you really can succeed in what you want to do.
We have offices today in London, New York, Boston, Hong Kong. It's unimaginable to think of what we've ultimately become.
It's extraordinary. Turn the clock back a little over 50 years. You have two guys fresh out of university working with a seasoned professional with all of 10 years of experience. Now try to imagine creating a financial services firm in Vancouver that would define a market sector. Now let's see, how do you do that?
So there were just the three of us. We had a bookkeeper and another guy that helped us with doing our quarterly reports, that kind of stuff. That's all we had.
The company philosophy was clear from day one.
We stressed the results for our clients as the first principle of our new firm, and I think that has always been the first principle.
Results, results, results was the mantra that guided Phillips Hager North.
But we have had also a really good retention ratio, and our clients, many of them today, were starting with us in the early 70s and even earlier than that.
Client retention rates are important, but so are sales, and neither Phillips, Hager, or North gravitated to sales, so they recruited Dick Bradshaw.
When I decided to join you, I phoned my parents back in Montreal and told them I was leaving the Montreal Trust Company to join a firm called Phillips Hager North. My mother said, "Who are they? How old are they?" And I said, well, Art was really old. He was 33, and Rudy and Bob were 26 years old.
They were able to attract Dick because of the unique partnership structure Art Phillips set up. They were all owners, and that ownership structure played a significant role in attracting talent over the coming decades.
When Art and Bob, Rudy started PH&N, Art Phillips bankrolled us. He had the record. He had the name, reputation. He could have started that company and kept 90% of the stock and given 5% to Rudy and to Bob, and they'd have said, thanks very much. He didn't do that. The firm was pretty well divided a third each. And that sort of set the precedent so that anytime we were trying to hire new people, we could offer them the opportunity to become owners.
And that dynamic is what propelled Phillips Hager North. It gave it the energy.
For the next 2 decades, that energy, hard work, and commitment would see the company through wild market swings, low margins, and nervous investors.
We had our moments of doubt because a lot of things were happening. I mean, in the 70s, you had the oil crisis when the Middle East decided to take over the oil fields, the first big spikes in oil prices. You had the Vietnam War. There was a lot of trauma back there. In hindsight, that was the great post-war bull market.
By the early 80s, the client base had expanded, the team was doing well, and then Black Monday, October 19th, 1987, hit with a thud.
Monday morning came and we dropped 20%.
But the fortunate thing was we didn't panic after it took place, and things settled down, and in fact the values in the market at that point were pretty good.
You know, we always used to say we get them through one bear market, we'll keep them, and that's been pretty much the case.
Then came the magic decade, the 1990s. By now the company was established, it was diversified, and it had a reputation of honesty and integrity. But more importantly, the team was battle-hardened and loaded with expertise.
Rudy North and Bob Hager were really brilliant investment analysts who were good at making money. And Art Phillips had a discipline that he kept relative performance charts of all the major stocks in Canada.
By now, the little investment house that could had done it.
The four of them created something very special that the rest of us fed off of for the next 35 years.
So special, they were frequently turning aside offers to buy the firm. But because they were determined to stay true to their mission, clients first, if the suitor did not meet PH&N's philosophical point of view, then no sale. Then along came the Royal Bank, offering a fit that met the needs of their clients.
We built our business managing basically North American securities, stocks, bonds, mortgages. And the large clients were no longer just looking for that kind of management. They wanted private equity, they wanted real estate, they wanted emerging markets, global investment, hedge funds. We didn't have that. We were still winning new business, but we were losing business from our existing clients in that they would take $20 million out to invest in a private equity fund. And that the investment game is, it's identical to sports in that they're the only two professions where at the end of every day, you know whether you won or lost.
When we look at the Phillips Hager North score sheet, the stats are staggering. They won. At the time the company was sold, it was managing assets in excess of $60 billion.
Not only were they leaders in business, they were philanthropic leaders in Vancouver, and they did so quietly and without fanfare.